Hi everyone, my name is Colby, and today the topic I'm going to cover is why generic SEO isn't going to work for marine business. So there's a few reasons why. Generic SEO often is going to fail in the marine industry just because the principles might work. However, you need to actually get into the specifics and the context that's related to marine. So it's important. It's important for you to have that niche specific SEO, whether you're working with boats, recreationally, uh, through tourism, through government, through anything like industrial, like building bridges and marinas and stuff like that. It's important that the search intent is thought about, and it's actually going to be different for each of these areas depending on who the person is that you're targeting. Uh, Standard keyword targeting for like high volume marine searches might not work as well for actual conversion and turning visitors to your website into sales. So sometimes it's good to sit down beforehand and think really about the intent structure of who you're targeting, what are their problems, and how are they looking for answers for that. Also, it's very important to when you're building links. A lot of the Google search results are based off of links. When you're building links for marine, you want to make sure that you get marine specific links. So while it's great. Let's say if you're featured in Yahoo or Yahoo's kind of old, but just something like that's really relevant, like big Instagram pages, or those might work for like social signals, but not as much for SEO. But let's say, a big thing like the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, that could be great. But if your customer is not the type of customer that's reading that, then the link isn't going to work as much. And Google is getting more specific on, looking for those signals to see what your website is really about. All right. Uh, Local SEO challenges unique to marine businesses. There's, if you're looking into Google local business profiles, obviously you want to make sure that you have the right address. You want to make sure that you have the right categories, and depends. You might also have multiple locations or locations that are not really like your standard address. And while you might have a mailing address, the reality is that your business is on the water, and there aren't normal address systems for that, and you might be moving from project to project. So it really depends. So yeah, local SEO challenges. Speaking with someone like me, I can look at your business and see what is the best solution for your business for that. Also, content strategies tailored for boat and yacht customers. Again, it's thinking about your target market and building authority within this highly specialized marine market. So most SEO agencies are not going to approach SEO the same way as someone that you could train internally, or someone that actually understands the marine market, such as myself. I've worked internally in a company where the SEO agency was building content for gasoline outboard engines, and the reality is that the business was a diesel engine business. So these things have to be kept in mind. Yeah, so the marine industry runs on that specialized search intent, like I was talking about. Got the Miami summer rainstorm going on here. I don't know if you can hear the pitter patter of that. But so the marine industry runs on that specialized internet search intent. So let's say they're looking for the best center console for offshore fishing in rough water. Maybe it's shaped differently. Maybe you have an article that talks about like a V-hole that cuts through the waves and doesn't like pound, try to pound through the wave, because it's not going to work as well. These are things you can do. Marine buyers need to trust you before they're going to convert. So they need to know that you understand what you're talking about. Things are often expensive and high risk. I was working with an insurance company, and they had brought the house risk department and included it with the marine department, and the guy really didn't know what was going on. He had like generic advice from the policies, and didn't know that that there's different things in marine, like you know there are costs to doing certain things that maybe don't exist on land. So it's often trying to group everything for a marine business into something that would be more land based, it doesn't really work. So also generic link building, I've talked a lot on my channel and on my blog. The idea is Google is getting smarter, and in the past, SEOs had just used the original Google algorithm, which really ran off of the domain rank. So if you got links from a super high ranking domain to your website, you were good. But the problem is that people just started getting links, and they didn't really give much context to the business, and honestly, they weren't as valuable as they could have been if they were actually in the subject matter. I'll give my rule of thumb for building a link for a website is whoever's a customer of whatever website you're getting a link from, if they read the article, they can click that link, and they actually would be a good customer for you, then that's a good link for you. If you put your if you go to like a local, if you're a marine business and you get a link from a local newspaper in the middle of nowhere, then is that really that relevant for you? Most of the people that are reading that local newspaper are concerned with the things that are going on around them, right? And a very low percentage is going to want to do business with you. And even though that local newspaper might be super established in their local area, if it's not marine, it's not really going to work so well for you. And Google's starting to get better about this. The one exception I would say is, let's say it's a local newspaper and you're like a charter tourism business, and you say, hey, leave your local town and come visit us here. This is what we have going on. This is something exciting going on. That would be different, and actually could be valuable in the way. It just depends on how you're putting it together. All right, so you got the marine SEO requires operational understanding. So when you're creating, you have AEO, which is answer everything optimization. So you have to really think about what are the things that my potential customers are asking. Let's say the weather is impacting the demand, seasonality changes, the search behavior, and things can get really specific. For example, when you're, let's say the wind could be something different for one area or another area. If you have like a local charter business that operates for bringing people to party in the bay, the wind doesn't really matter, right? You're protected. You have trees, you have buildings around you. If you have anchorages that are exposed to the wind, it could be very important. Or if you're taking an offshore trip and you're getting out into, let's say, the Gulf Stream in South Florida, a little bit of wind in the wrong direction has a huge impact. So you have to really think about, you have to understand the operation for marine and make things that are specific. Also, of course, if you're like operating a freshwater versus a saltwater environment, there's different kinds of problems that your customers are dealing with. Of course, there's different vessel types. You can get all into that, but basically the idea is that for marine SEO, increasingly, it's always been like this, but increasingly, you're answering questions for customers and helping them solve their problems. So you want to have an understanding of that environment, and anyone that you work with to do your SEO, while the principles are the same as far as how the search engine picks things up and all that, you want to have someone that understands the marine environment and how to create answers for that type of customer. So why most businesses that are in the marine industry struggle to build authority is they're relying a lot on word of mouth, and that is the greatest way to start your business and to grow sustainably. However, you have to bring all these things into one place, right? Let's say you have a website and you're selling from your website. You need to make sure that those referrals are going to your website. You need to make sure that the boat shows you're using to get leads that you can send emails to and show them all the things that you've put together and all the value that you've built. And you can do that with Facebook and Instagram and word of mouth as well. All of these channels together create scalable search authority. So you need to build them into an ecosystem that builds your business's authority. And it's becoming even more important with the AI searches, because AI doesn't look at links like the Google search results did, right? So it's not just based on links; it's also based on wording. So you want to make sure that you're an expert in your topic, you're consistent, you cover your topic well, you're recognized by different entities as someone that does this topic well, and you have real world authority as well. So marine SEO also is increasingly not just rankings, right? So you have you can rank you just publishing information out there, but the idea is that you should be looking for qualified buyers, and your organization should actually define what is a qualified buyer for you. You're going to want to reduce the objections for your company. So when people call your company, you want to have pre-educated them so that you don't get those type of objections. And you can do that through your blog, through your social media, through everything. And if you're consistent with this, it's going to start showing up in the AI results and the Google overviews as well. You're going to want to improve the conversion rates on your website. So someone that's already pre-educated on your website is going to convert a lot faster. And it's going to shorten the decision cycles because there's a lot less uncertainty that's going on here. And you can see that. Also, you're going to build trust before the call even happens. So something, I don't know if you think about your favorite social media influencer, or think about them, and you kind of get a feeling that you actually know the person. Maybe you do. Maybe that's those social media presence, but you want to do that for your business. You want to have people understand what you're about, so when they call you, they already trust you. And you want to focus on some businesses are focusing on impressions and rankings without actually thinking about how does this improve my outcome, right? I got the views, but what is my business outcome, right? Is it to get leads? Is it okay? Do I have a pop-up on my website, on my blog, or on my social media, somewhere to collect information from customers? Is my goal to educate customers? Do I have an industry that's misunderstood or just kind of complex and technical, and we want to break it down? Like an old book that used to do that really well was like the For Dummies series, right? So it would be whatever subject you wanted to learn about. It was SEO for dummies, right? And it's not about calling it a dummy. It's the reality is that when you want to learn a new subject, you want someone to explain it to you simply so you can learn it. You don't want a bunch of jargon just complicated words to explain it, because at the end of the day, all you want to do is get your objective done, right? So if you work in something like marine safety, right? You're whether that be government, whether that be like salvage companies, whether that be like towing companies, the Coast Guard, all these kind of things. Well, you want to put together education so that people actually understand how you're helping them, and that happens. This happens to be like your website happens to be one of the best ways to do that. And you want sales enablement. So let's say you want to upgrade, increase your average order, right? So let's say there's a logical next product that you want to sell. Once someone's bought, I've worked in diesel engine parts. So let's say someone's bought the filter. Well, eventually we want to sell them the rebuild for their engine, right? It's a lot higher ticket item. So we start from the filter, and we enable our sales team to have something to follow up with them so we stay top of mind. There's also conversion optimization, a lot of other things, and overall long-term authority growth for your business. Why does authority matter, more than ever? Because, in the marine industry, things are expensive. Boats are expensive. Things that break are expensive. vessel purchases, they're expensive. Charter bookings when they get dropped because of a misunderstanding can be expensive. Marina contracts. There's something in Miami right now where there's kind of a conflict over all these new people are coming into Miami, which is a good thing because it's stimulating the economy. But the locals have their boats in the marinas, and also people live on their boats as the city grows and it gets more expensive, and there's not enough marina space. So it's a big conflict. It's like growing pains, right? It's not a bad thing, but bringing understanding to those kind of things is important because just a wide, broad, generic generalization it's gonna cause a lot of problems, and these type of decisions should be made. One, protecting individual freedoms of United States citizens, but two, understanding what is the issue at hand, and getting the stakeholders involved. Yeah. So this type of authority is built through strong educational content. So whatever marine industry thing that you're doing, whether that's salvage, whether that's marinas, whether that's marine construction, getting people some content to show like what you do and what value you bring, and educating your customer about your process helps to build your authority. Relevant publication placements, I talked about that a little bit in the link building section. So getting your business placed in local publications that are marine specific or specific to what you do, that's important. Visible expertise, showing the projects that you've worked on. If you're a marine construction company, I saw a cool one today. It was doing 3D printing for seawalls, and it just was very, very unique. It added mangrove type mangrove root type structure to the seawall. I actually kind of want to see them like sticking out more, but that actually is going to be more helpful than like these flat seawalls that are put in, and to bring marine life around, and the natural habitat was the mangroves. Of course we want them, but sometimes we do have to put seawalls in place to protect buildings and different things like that. So I thought that was a pretty innovative business, and I saw some great videos of them placing these things. You can see the mangrove roots again. I'd like them to be more root-like, but it's a great start, and it solves a problem, which is, a lot of times when these seawalls are built, a lot of stuff is destroyed in the process, and it affects a lot of stuff in the marine ecosystem. So it was a cool thing, and I'd like to see where that business goes. But now I'm talking about that business because I saw that, and it shows that visible expertise. Now you're also going to want real operational expertise. You hear the construction going on in the background. So if you're building things, like it's important to do it right the first time. So demonstrating that, explaining that, showing your expertise on that helps a lot. And then you want to think about buyer-focused ecosystems. Like, where is your buyer? Who are your decision makers, right? So if you've got a construction project like the one that's going on in the background there, maybe your marine construction, is it for a local homeowner? Is it for large businesses? Sometimes LinkedIn is great for that kind of stuff, because the decision makers who are the buyers, let's say for a large construction company, they're on there, they're on LinkedIn, and it'd be a good place to do that. So the businesses that are winning marine search usually are going to do things a little bit differently. One, you're going to be consistently publishing. You're going to build that topical authority, show what your business can help with, help people understand the problems that are out there, creating highly specific content for your marine industry, earning relevant placements, whether they're local placements. I'm from Miami, so there's a great site that kind of just shows all the crazy stuff that happens in our city. It's called Only in Dade. So that would be a localized thing, but it also may not be as marine specific. So there's another channel called Wavy Outdoors, and that channel shows it's mostly, it's expanded a lot, but the origins show what happens in Haulover Inlet, which is a really thin inlet where there can be a lot of waves when the tide's moving in the right direction, and it provides a challenge to people going in and out, and it can be kind of funny, but it also can be educational as you see some of the dangers of inexperienced boaters going through really rough seas. And yeah, so that's a specific type of like placement that you can get for local marine stuff. And there's all kinds of them. There's let's say you're in like the work boats. There are publications specifically for workboats, and there are specific to buying workboats, to working on workboats, stuff like that. So building links that are within your industry and specific to the type of buyer that you want to work with is very important. So some final thoughts here for SEO for marine businesses. You don't really want to go generic because there's a lot of nuance and a lot of context that you're going to miss just working with just a regular SEO agency. You're gonna so you can work with someone like me. You can send me an email to colbyum@gmail.com. I'll be happy to help you with your business. I can do a few things. I can help you set up a team within your business to do this, or coordinate with the people within your business to get stuff like that proof content. Let's say you go out and do marine construction jobs. Hey guys, when you're out there, please take 2 or 3 pictures. And you can even integrate it into your process, right? Because let's say for insurance, you have to take pictures anyways. So just say, hey, we already have these pictures. Let's get more value out of them. Like before it was a drag. Like, hey, for insurance, I have to take this picture and this picture and that picture. And it's like an extra cost. It might reduce risk, but why not use it to also increase your revenue at the same time? So these type of things, you can amplify that. And I can help you think about your business and think about how do I amplify the activities that I'm already doing to grow my business. So I'm not going out of my way and having to spend tons of money on on like a production company. Probably a waste of money to do like a large production company, unless you really have the reach. But even then, it may be a waste of money because just by the time you get out there, the gas, all this stuff, and you're creating like a production, like you're filming a movie. Movies cost like $300 million a year to build. That's the average movie. I think with the AI, it's reduced down a little bit now. But there's a lot of stuff that you can do with your cell phone, with just things you already have, with your team members that you already have, in a way that amplifies what you do. It's going to cost less. It's going to be more effective. And if you really are thinking about like what is the problem I'm actually trying to solve, and you go about doing it that way, it may help you, and you might actually go towards solving that problem and have more cohesion within your team. All right, so yeah, again, marine businesses are going to search differently. They're going to evaluate differently, going to compare differently, and they're going to purchase differently. Marine businesses understand that you can build major long-term growth through specialized content, contextual authority. Again, context is key. Marine-specific SEO systems, relevant driven link acquisition, which I can help you with. I have a few packages here, and conversion-focused educational assets. So I have a few different packages here. I usually use Upwork to do the payment for this, just because I have it set up as a package. But I have a few different levels where I can help you with different types of placements. And you can, if you're watching this on my YouTube channel, I'll put some links in there, but also on my blog as well, you have that there. I also will help you to write bulk blog posts for your business, get that educational content out there, answer basic objections that your business has. So when people come to you, they might have some uncertainty, and I'm big with faith over fear. So just helping people have faith and just have less fear about things that maybe you solve the problems for these people, and just because you haven't been able to communicate it correctly, people don't see the answers there. So I write bulk blog posts for businesses. I can help you with that. You can send me an email to colbyum@gmail.com. I have deep marine experience. I've produced content that works. I've written over 7,000 blog posts in the past 15 years. I can help you with search everywhere optimization, whether that's showing up in social media, whether that's showing up in YouTube, which is actually the world's second largest search engine, whether that's showing up on Google searches with the new AI overviews and ChatGPT and all of the other AI tools. There's so many now. It's starting to get a little overwhelming on which one to focus on, but I would recommend focusing on the biggest ones first, unless there's something specific to your business that is specific to one of those, and we can talk about that at a different point. Understanding marine buyers, like what are their motivations, understanding that content systems compound over time, and sometimes what you do today doesn't have results for the in up to like 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, and I can explain to you those if we have a meeting to talk about this and implement this in your business. And yeah, I have a strategy built for marine that works in marine, so feel free to reach out to me at colbyum@gmail.com. We'll speak soon, and looking forward to helping you grow your business.